Yo, what's cracking, folks? Jeremy Vassar here with Practical Painting. We are professional painters here to help DIYers become better painters. In this video, I'm going to go over what paints you should be using when you paint your bathroom. One of the contracting companies that we've worked behind for over a decade primarily renovates kitchens and baths. Because of that, I have painted hundreds, if not thousands, of residential bathrooms. So I have quite a bit of reps with these products here before me. I'm also a fan of YouTube and I watch a lot of reviews. I always appreciate it when I know that the YouTuber has used the products extensively so that their knowledge is actually useful to what I'm trying to do. And when I use products and I have them in our repertoire of products that we use, I'm looking for consistent results that I can replicate. And particularly with these types of products, I am looking for a relatively high-end finish, and I want durability and then, again, predictable, replicatable results, because I have to estimate these jobs, and I'm estimating how long it's going to take me, and then I've got to put a price on it, and then when I go to actually do the painting, I've got to make sure that I can, replicate those results over and over again, and that the end result is going to be of high quality and that our clients are going to like them. That being said, I've used these products quite a bit over the years, so that in their current formulations. So depending on when you're watching this, I can only vouch for them as they stand now. Also, none of this is sponsored content. I'm not opposed to it. But yeah, I'm not sponsored by any of these brands, and also just because I don't mention it here or use it in my kind of loadout doesn't mean there aren't other quality products available that would do the job well. It just means I haven't used them extensively. So that being said, let's start with our loadout from Sherwin-Williams. I'm going to scooch these off to the side here. This is the loadout that we use on, I would say, over 90% of the bathrooms that we paint. So for the ceiling and the walls, it's going to be Duration Matte. This has moisture and mold blocking agents built into it, so that is super important for any of these types of bathrooms, because one of the biggest mistakes that I see even from builders is that they put flat paint on the ceiling in a bathroom and on the walls, which is no bueno. All that steam produced from the shower is going to rise up, hit the ceiling, and then kind of spill over to the walls, particularly if it's not properly ventilated. And what happens over time is as that moisture penetrates the paint is going to flex and swell, and then as it dries, it's going to contract again. As it does that a bunch of different times over the years, it's going to then crack out. You'll also see some mold issues, the black spotting on the ceiling, and stuff like that. So very important to use a specialty product that has moisture and mold block built into it, and that is what Duration does. So we really like the matte finish. Again, with Duration Matte particularly, it's a little bit shinier than most other matte paints out there. It's a little bit closer to an eggshell. Holds up really well over time, has a really nice uniform finish, which I really like. That is my favorite paint to use in the bathroom. For the trim, we generally use Duration Semi-Gloss. It's going to be quite a bit shinier than the matte, so it's got some more durability, but this is pretty much a standard interior latex-based trim paint. We really like it, and if we're looking for a bit more durability, or perhaps the trim in that particular bathroom's going to get some more wear and tear, or if it was oil-based before, we go with the Emerald Urethane Trim Enamel from Sherwin-Williams. This is a hybrid product. It's got some oil resins pumped into it. So it's a little bit trickier to work with, not too bad, and a little bit pricier than the Duration Semi-Gloss, but this works super, super good, and I would highly recommend giving it a look. Moving on to our loadout from Benjamin Moore. This is the other set of products that we use in bathrooms. Sometimes when we work with clients, they request that we use only Benjamin Moore products. Totally fine. Happens a lot when we work behind designers as well. Benjamin Moore doesn't have quite as many offerings in this department as Sherwin-Williams, but their standard go-to for bathroom walls and ceilings is their Aura Bath and Spa. That comes in a matte finish only, and it's decent. It's a little pricey. Usually it's north of 70 bucks, but I don't know where it sits now as you are watching this. But it holds up really nicely. It's got the moisture and mildew resistance built into it, so that's not a big concern. It actually, you can clean it relatively easily. It holds up pretty well. The only thing I don't really like about it is that sometimes you can see the lap marks or where the roller runs into the cut lines a little bit more easily than some of the other products that I'm used to using. So that's just something to be aware of. But as far as durability goes, it does hold up really nicely. As far as trim paints go, I don't have the one we typically use sit in front of me. I just didn't have a can of it in my garage here. But a lot of times we use the Regal Select Semi-Gloss. That's Benjamin Moore's standard kind of interior latex-based trim paint. So works really well. Usually if we're using Benjamin Moore, that's what's going on the trim and the rest of the house. But if we're going for a little bit more durability when we're using Benjamin Moore, then we go with their hybrid trim paint, which is Advance. And similar to the Emerald Urethane Trim Enamel, it just is a little bit trickier to work with. Dry times are a little bit longer, but this holds up really nicely, and the finish quality is muy bueno. That is kind of our jam as far as what products to use in your bathroom. Just keep in mind, whatever it is that you use, you really want to make sure it's got a moisture and mold blocking agent built into it, particularly on the ceiling, and vent those bathrooms as best you can. You want to make sure you've got a decent fan in there. If you don't have a fan in there, then crack that window and try and vent that steam out. That's going to help you, prevent any of the moisture and mold issues that you might run into. If you are painting your bathroom, which it's very likely that you might be doing that since you're watching this video, take a look at my How to Paint Behind a Toilet video. That's quite helpful if you have to accomplish that task and you're not removing the toilet. I will link to that at the end of this video. Until next time, y'all take it easy, work smart, and have a good one. Peace.
Well, I've seen the fruits of my labor. What I have, I built with my own hands.
Amazing.